and just like, how does that all work? And I'm like, oh, I'm learning skills for the future, when in reality, I'm not really using any of those things anymore. I really do think that Chiang Mai is just kind of like, it's like a heaven and hell. But it's very cheap, it's very affordable, and it's very relaxing at the same time. Hey guys, how's it going? Nick is here once again. And today we're gonna talk about the Chiang Mai trap. So this is something that actually my friend Rico and I talked about very recently while we were out, and it was comparing and contrasting my time in Chiang Mai with my time in Guangzhou, China. I don't want to preface this that Chiang Mai is bad in any way. Chiang Mai is awesome. I loved Chiang Mai and I would go back there in a heartbeat. In fact, I'm going to be there in April for the Songkran Festival. But there is a caveat to Chiang Mai. I feel like the advertisement for Chiang Mai should be, the capital of digital nomads. It's the best place to get your business started off the ground. It's got a great community, with a preface on but. And that but is what I personally went through when I was in Chiang Mai. And I think it'll depend on a case-by-case basis. But for me, when I got there, it's like I had no plan beyond Chiang Mai. Like, I was shooting videos at the time when I was in Toronto. I was working really hard on my Amazon business. I travel hacked my way, my free ticket to go to Chiang Mai, Thailand. And then when I arrived there, about a month later, I was just like, well, here I am. Like, I'm making money. I'm making good money on Amazon. I'm here with my friends and I live in paradise. Like, what else is there? And it kind of goes back to Tim Ferriss's reference in the 4-Hour Workweek to the void. Which in his one of his recent podcasts, I think it came out in February 2018 or January 2018, that he talks about, he has a friend of his interview him, and he asked him, what is one of the overlooked chapters or one of the most overlooked things in your book? And he says, the chapter on the void. Once you get to a certain level of financial freedom, how do you fill that? It's like, it sounds like first world problems where, oh, well, you have money, just figure it out. But it's like it's more of a mental game. And I think what it came down to is lack of planning. And so I was in Chiang Mai and it was just way too easy to relax and to go out with friends or go out to like a very sunny co-working space or grab a bike and go to the mountain or like get a little getaway in Pai, with friends. And none of these things cost a lot, so I just ended up procrastinating for like 4 out of the 6 months that I was there, instead of really putting in some hard work. I did some work, I moved my business forward, but I feel like in my 1 month in Guangzhou, I moved my business further than I did in those 6 months while I was in Thailand. In fact, I got distracted with drop shipping. I got distracted with social media influencing and just like, how does that all work? And I'm like, oh, I'm learning skills for the future, when in reality, I'm not really using any of those things anymore. Something to be said about, if you're coming to Chiang Mai, I think it's kind of like the saying, live at some point in your life, live in LA, but leave before it makes you soft. At some point in your life, live in New York, but leave before it makes you too hard. And I think similar concept can be applied to Chiang Mai. Like, live in Chiang Mai for some period of your life until you get to a certain mark in terms of your financial gains. But at some point, you gotta leave, you gotta get out. And I even have very close friends there right now that have lived there for 6 months or more, like to a year, something like that, on the surface, like, their business is like maybe growing, maybe the business is doing well, but personally there's no drive there. There is no like that push where they're just like, man, I just want to grow it. Like, I just want to hit it hard, like 8 hours a day kind of thing. And maybe it's maybe it's a personal thing. Maybe I'm looking too deeply into it from my own personal perspective. I really do think that Chiang Mai is just kind of like, it's like a heaven and hell, and not necessarily, maybe hell is a tough word, but I think that if you're going to Chiang Mai for 6 months to 8 months maybe to start a business, or maybe you have a small business, you have like $500 to $1,000 per month business and you want to grow it to 5K or 10K, just know when to get out. It's kind of like, know what you want to sell your company for. Like, if it's $1 million, just reach to $1 million and go no further, and sell it there. It's like with Chiang Mai, it's like, go there, you know, have an exit plan, know where you're gonna go. And you know, over 2017, I've started tiering cities and countries. So Chiang Mai would probably be the easiest tier because it's got a huge community. It's built, like the whole city is built for digital nomads. It's got a great coffee culture. It's got a great nightlife. People are super awesome. Everything's great. But it's very cheap, it's very affordable, and it's very relaxing at the same time. Medellin, Colombia has got a more of a higher up tier of people, you know, entrepreneurs, a lot of copywriters there. It's not as easy because you got to learn Spanish, but Spanish is an easy language, so it's not bad. Things are still fairly inexpensive for a big city. Things are fairly inexpensive. You do got to be aware of your surroundings. Like I wouldn't call it unsafe as long as you're not an idiot. But at the same time, it's not like Chiang Mai where you can wander down dark streets, drunk off your ass, fall asleep, somebody will wake you up and carry you home or something, you know? Like in Medellin, you gotta watch your ass a little bit. And then you have a place like China, whether it's Guangzhou, Yiwu, Shanghai, you know, which is crazy expensive. Hong Kong, which is crazy expensive. Beijing, Shenzhen, you know, it's a whole other level of difficulty. And I think you gotta, before you kind of take off, you gotta figure out what are you in it for. Like, do you really want to just make $1,000 a month and lie on the beach or lay on the beach? Maybe right now you do, but do that for about 2-3 months, you're gonna get bored. You're gonna want to blow your brains out. You know, the inaction is gonna eat you alive because that's kind of how humans are structured. We always want to be growing. We always want to be moving forward in some way or another. You know, and Chiang Mai has that stagnation effect. It's really fun when you're starting, and like by all means, once again, I want to say this very clearly: start there. It's an amazing place. I love Chiang Mai. I can't wait to be back there. But just don't stay longer than you have to. And I think one of the best things that I've ever done, and unfortunately it was after I left Chiang Mai, and this is all in hindsight, is before I went there, I would have probably done the Taylor Pearson Anti-Fragile Life Report and Jordan Peterson self-authoring program. I would have done those two in sequence before I went. Like I would have probably taken a week before I went to Chiang Mai and just done those just for like general life planning and like having a better plan in terms of what I want to achieve and where I want to get. Understand that Chiang Mai, it's got a really cool vibe about it, and it's got a really good network. You're gonna meet a lot of people, but at the same time, it's gonna be kind of sort of like college. You know, there's gonna be a lot of parties, a lot of events. You're gonna be going to these talks. You're gonna be doing Friday afternoon coffees or whatever they call them, you know, Friday talks. You're gonna meet a lot of guys, you're gonna go for beers, and you're gonna feel like you're progressing because you're like, man, I'm meeting all these great people, but it's like, you know, is your business doing better? Are you actually putting in at least like 4 to 5 hours a day on your business, you know? Like, I think when I was in Chiang Mai, that was actually the point when my YouTube channel started suffering, and you can see that I started posting less and less and less until I think after I left Chiang Mai, I was just like so beyond it, and like my mind was so elsewhere that I think in the span of 2017, after I left Chiang Mai, I left Chiang Mai in February. After that, I think I maybe released 5 videos the whole year. You know, and it wasn't until coming back here to China where I'm like, man, I want to hire a video editor. I want to shoot like 1 video a day. Like, man, I got super ambitious when I got here, you know? And I think it has to do something with isolation, to be honest with you, because it's not like everything's easily available. You have to put a lot of effort to get small things, like just to find groups of Guangzhou meetups of, you know, medium to higher level guys. Like, you either need to know someone or you need to operate WeChat and find that group and be invited into it, or know somebody who's in that group who can invite you into it. You know, it's a whole different ball game here. And for the past 45 days, like February is almost over, so it'll be 2 months. It's just been office, gym, and now, you know, back to YouTube, like just hiring, like very tight focus on my Amazon business, adding products, growing it, like planning my trip in March to Yiwu for 2 weeks to launch like 2-3 new products, planning my trip to new supplier, signing a sales agreement in March. You know, so all these things are happening because I'm here. I think if I was elsewhere, if I was in Colombia or if I was in Thailand, I don't think things would be moving as quickly. I think I'd be getting myself a lot more leeway. But this isolation, which is the opposite of Chiang Mai, I think it made me really, at first it's like there's a bit of resistance to it where you're like, damn it, like, why am I in this place? You know, I know no one. Like, it's not really scary anymore because I've been traveling, I've been doing this stuff around, so like I know at any point I can just go. but it's more of just like this feeling of, well, there's no one around anymore, you know, like you have a massive body of people around you, not now because it's Chinese New Year, but like typically you have a lot of people around you and you feel alone in the crowd. For the first time this happened to me, you know, so it's a little bit anxious, but at the same time, you know, after getting over that original period of about a week, you kind of start getting used to it, and that isolation kind of puts your head down to like revert back to what you know. Well, what do I know best? I know my business, which is what I do day to day, and I want YouTube, which is what I used to do. I stopped doing it, and now I want to get back to it because I remembered how much fun I was having and how cool it was for me to like make all these little videos and talk about my experience and like actually bring people value, and having, you know, people comment on the video saying, man, like, thank you for saying that, or like, thank you for genuine, you know, advice, which is like what I always aim to give, without trying to, you know, get your email. By the way, I'm releasing it now. I'm not releasing anything. Just actually, I am working on something. I guess it's a quick aside. The video is over, so you can click off if you know the whole Chiang Mai planning thing. Basically, my takeaway advice is have a plan with Chiang Mai. You know, when you go in there, like, be aware of the kind of work that you're doing, and like, don't lie to yourself. Just because you're meeting a bunch of amazing people and you're learning new things doesn't mean you're applying them and that you're benefiting financially from it. So make sure that the business is number one and that you have a very tight structure, and also know when to leave. That'd be my biggest advice for anyone who's moving to Chiang Mai right now, to avoid the Chiang Mai trap, so to speak. But I'm actually working on something really cool, and if you got so far to in this video, congratulations. I've noticed that it's not even recently, like for the past like year or two, there's just like a course after course after course, and it's like these dudes that have done Amazon for like 6 months or 8 months have one product and they're releasing courses for like $300-400, and I'm just like, what? That doesn't, like, what do they know? Like, what do you really, like, that's experience? So anyway, I kind of got frustrated, so me and Rico were joking around about it, and basically I'm trying to fuck up the game a little bit, and basically gonna make a YouTube series of I don't know how many videos, but like a step-by-step detailed, literally just give you like a $5,000 course in your hands. Just detailed like how to do product, research how I do it, including some Excel spreadsheets that I actually use to plug in Jungle Scout data, and it just spits out answers for me. I'm gonna include videos on how to find manufacturers, how to talk to them, how to vet them, how to do quality control, what kind of contracts to sign, basically like lay it all out step by step. Freight forwarding, what are you looking for, what kind of fees are good, where to look for good freight forwarders, give you some recommendations in terms of like calculate the exact Amazon fees. Like there's like services that charge you for that. What are you talking about? Anyway, so like I have a full Excel where you just put in your cost, you put in the amount of units, and it summarizes like because there, aside from the referral fee and like advertising fee and like cost and pack fee, there's also like the placement fees when your inventory arrives. There's like the monthly storage fees. So like I included that in like a spreadsheet later, and I'm just gonna include it in all the videos. And I'm basically gonna give you everything you need. Like you literally don't need anything else. I'm gonna give you all my knowledge for free. That's what I'm gonna be working on probably for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and just like pump it out. I don't know, maybe like 15-20 videos, hopefully less. Just, yeah, have at it, you know, like there's literally no excuse for you not to try Amazon at this point. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Avoid the Chiang Mai trap, and see you later.